Yeah, so I run a YouTube channel called Beer Biceps. I promote fitness, especially India-specific fitness. How many of you all know what this is? You all know what I'm holding? Okay, yeah. So this is a box of protein shake. It's probably like my 50th, 60th box. I've been training for like 5 years now. How many of you guys have looked at one of these boxes and said something like, I'm never putting those artificial powders inside my body? How many of you guys? Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch. You know, these are made by evaporating milk till you're left with milk solids, and one of those milk solids is whey protein. That's all it is. So I'm going to keep this down. Last year, there were 184,000 deaths related to consuming sugary drinks. And there were 0 deaths related to consuming these. But people are still afraid of these. For me personally, these boxes and my dumbbells at home and in the gym, they've become a symbol of all the preconceived notions that our society has when it comes to fitness and health. These boxes are going to harm our organs. Weight training is going to harm your joints. And ladies, for some reason, all of you all believe that strength training is going to make you bulky. Like that. In truth, science says that strength training in the long term, for women especially, it'll kind of make you look like a Bollywood actress. Think Priyanka Chopra, Deepika Padukone, something like that. So I surveyed 3 gyms in my own area, and what I found is that only 20% of the total members were women. So for every single Indian girl who's going to a gym, there's 4 Indian guys. And keep in mind, there's a fitness revolution happening in India. Guys, are we on the same page? You guys agree with me. Everyone who gyms here. The guys are on board, but for some reason, the women are getting left behind, mothers especially. So my mom, when I took up training, she was super afraid of this whole process, this radical change in my lifestyle and my diet. Beta, you're putting poison into your body, your organs are gonna die. Things like that. I heard all that for a year. So I continued my process for a year. I got a six-pack along the way. And at the end of 1 year, I knew I was healthy. But being the rebellious kid that I am, I wanted to prove her wrong. So I went to my local medical center and I got a blood test done. I got a full body checkup done. And the numbers came back. So the numbers were basically saying that this guy is one healthy dude. My cholesterol was low, my uric acid levels were normal, everything was just perfect. And my mom went, hang on, if he's looking like this, and his reports say that he's healthy, maybe there's something to it. So all that hate that she had for my lifestyle kind of started to fade away a little bit. So she stepped into a gym. That's my mom. And she took up weight training. She started going on a high-protein diet. Initially, of course, it was difficult. It's difficult for your body to get used to a new form of exercise and a new diet. But very soon, she saw all the benefits. Her fat percent dropped, her strength levels shot up, and the best part was that she didn't become a bulky bodybuilder. I still had the biggest biceps in the house. So my point here is that my mom was lucky enough to have a fitness YouTuber at home telling her, Mama, you should not supposed to eat those ice creams. And Mama, go to the gym. But the bitter truth is that our society, in our society, every single Indian house needs a voice like that. And that's become one of my life's missions through my blog. I'm trying to create that voice in every single Indian house, and I have a solution. So a great man once said that if you educate a man, you enhance the life of an individual. But if you educate a woman, you enhance the life of an individual and you enhance the life of an entire society. Educated women raise educated children. And those educated children will grow up, they won't be afraid of going to the gym, they won't be afraid of bringing protein shake boxes back home. They'll probably be healthier than us. My point of this whole talk is that, ladies, you guys need strength much more than the men do. The way women's bodies are built, they kind of degenerate faster than men's bodies. So let me, super quick, let me take you through the life of a woman. Okay. Initially, till your preteen phase, till around the time you're 13 years old, it's roughly the same for boys and girls. You stay away from sugar, you keep your body a little bit active, and you'll be okay. But once you hit your teenage, your preteens, periods, women start losing blood and tissue every single month, and along with that, their bodies faced with a lot of fatigue, their body's not recovering as fast. And the need of the moment is to refuel. It's to replenish your body's stores. The 2 key ingredients when it comes to refueling are protein and iron. Now, let's move away from fitness for a minute. Let's talk about food. That's a standard Indian meal. So it's got roti, it's got sabzi, and it's got dal. Now, what's the key with Indian household meals? When you look at an Indian meal, you'll always see that the center of your meal, the focus, the constant, is the carbohydrate. It's the roti or the rice, and then we change up the sabzi and the dal. You compare that to anywhere else in the world, you'll always see that throughout the rest of the world, the center of the meal is their protein. It's always a chicken breast, a fillet of fish, a steak, kebabs maybe, and they've got carbs and salad on the side. That's all it is, a side dish. But in India, we focus too much on the carbs. And contrary to popular belief, dal isn't enough protein. Science says so. So how do you fix this? The quick fix is that you include some form of protein in your diet. Maybe some chicken, some fish. If you're vegetarian, paneer, soybean, protein shakes won't hurt. It also makes for a great snack time option, and it's not going to harm your body. Now, it's one thing talking about health, and that might not be a big concern for too many people, but let me take you all through the other side of things. Diet is only half the game played. The other half is physical activity. So at the age of 13, in their preteen phase, something else happens. So girls who used to go out and play with their footballs or their bicycles, those footballs and bicycles get replaced by cell phones and social media. People stop going out a lot. And this is a huge issue because our bodies aren't built to just stay at home in front of a screen. You need to understand that the first human stepped on this planet about 2 million years ago. And for the most part, for most of those 2 million years, our bodies are used to hunting and chasing prey and climbing on trees and jumping and running all day. It's used to things like that. Only in the last, say, 200, 300 years, we've kind of become a little less active. We've kind of lost that bite. And that's causing huge issues in the modern day. So one striking thing about modern day society, modern day Indian society, is that 18% of all Indian women suffer from PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. You guys know what PCOS is? Have you heard of PCOS? It's a major issue. It can snowball into like many long-term problems. You go to a gynecologist and you ask them, how can I fix PCOS? And they'll tell you that you need to take up an exercise regime. You need to start making your body active. Any hormonal problem, it's basically your body looking up at you and saying, you know, you're doing something wrong, I'm malfunctioning, you better fix this. And that's why it can lead to long-term problems if you don't fix it early on. How do you fix this? As a fitness coach, let me tell you that one way to do it is to take up an intense exercise regime. And if any of you guys watch my YouTube channel, you guys would know I'm going to talk about weight training. So, of course, now the one thing you need to understand is that the way your body is built, it's going to move backwards unless you make it move forwards. So if you don't put a check on all this degeneration, this potential PCOS and these potential hormonal problems, it's going to lead up to many more worse things. You need to take up some kind of an intense exercise regime just for the sake of your long-term health. That's what your body is meant to do. That's something a lot of us are forgetting. But I get that, you know, health is kind of a boring topic for most people, so let's talk about more superficial things. Let's talk about just fitness goals. Okay, girls from the ages of 13 till the ages of forever have one common fitness goal. That's fat loss. Everyone wants to burn off fat. Am I right? So girls go out chasing those thigh gaps, that flat stomach, those toned arms. And in order to do so, they'll take up cardio. They'll go for jogs and runs, and they'll go skipping and swimming and cycling and even Zumba. But it's just cardio. Now let me tell you what science says. So science says that if you take up cardio, you're burning off fat and calories while you're performing the exercise. But if you take up some kind of an exercise regime that's putting a load on your muscles and causing some kind of damage to your muscles, you're burning off calories at twice the rate. So you're burning off calories while you perform the exercise in the active burn, and then because you're causing all those micro tears in your muscles, your body's going to repair those micro tears at home, and it's going to use up calories to do that as well. That's called the afterburn effect. So you're burning off calories at twice the rate. That's the superficial benefit of weight training. It's your fastest path to that thigh gap or that flat stomach. Everyone who wants to burn belly fat, I'm sure 90% of the room has that same fitness goal. This is how you do it. You just burn off your fat. There's no such thing as spot reduction. Now, for me personally, It's great to have a six pack. It's good to have a flat stomach. That's all okay. But all these are just superficial. The one thing I've figured over like 4 or 5 years of weight training is that the biggest benefit of it is strength. And okay, let me take you through what kind of strength I'm talking about. Now, the way your body is built, you need to understand that your long-term health has a one-to-one relation with your physical strength. At the age of 25, a man's body is at its peak. That's why cricketers, footballers, they peak when they're like in their mid-20s. They're physically the strongest. But women's bodies start degenerating at the age of 25. That's when it starts going downhill. Women's bone density decreases, the muscle mass starts leaving them, and their nervous system doesn't fire as fast as it used to. So in the long term, once again, these three factors can snowball into something much bigger. I'm sorry? Can I get it? I think I switched it off. Okay, either way, I'll continue. So, it can snowball into something much bigger. And at menopause, all these effects get even more amplified. So this is something women need to watch out for. And once again, something like strength training will increase your physical strength. Your physical strength, your long-term health have a one-to-one relation. You'll be less fragile, your posture will be fixed, your bones will be much stronger, your muscles will be stronger, obviously. Your nervous system will fire better. You'll be less injury prone. You'll be less prone to hormonal problems like PCOS. Everything will just be fixed. Physical health, physical strength, long-term health has a one-to-one relation. But your long-term happiness doesn't boil down to just your physical strength. Your long-term happiness boils down to your mental strength. And that's what I feel I've gained out of this whole process. Now, hold on, can we have the slide, please? Yeah, okay. Okay, so my greatest idol in the world, guys, my greatest idol in the world is Bruce Lee. Anyone else on the same page? So Bruce Lee had this amazing thing to say. He said that, I fear not the man who's practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who's practiced one kick 10,000 times. Just let that sentence sit in your head for a minute. He's not asking you to fear a kick. He's asking you to fear an individual. It's practice that makes the person. Even on my blog, I keep talking about this concept. It's never about your end goal. It's about who the process is making you. Why do most CEOs all over the world stick to their fitness regimes and their long-term exercise regimes? It's because they have that constant source of pain, which also becomes a constant source of peace. Let's not just talk about the physical benefits and all the feel-good hormones that are released in your head, but let's talk about how after a point, it becomes a source of meditation. Your training program becomes your place of peace, and in that place of peace, you have peace to think about the rest of your life. A lot of business solutions for me personally come out in my workouts or when I'm on a run. That's one aspect of the mental side of things. The other aspect is simple things. Let me give you all an example. So you need to understand that the benefits of an exercise regime aren't just physical, and it's things like this. Now, it's easy to go to the gym and lift weights for 1 hour. It's difficult to stay away from chocolates and ice cream for 23 hours, for me. And every time I'm able to beat that little craving of wanting to have that 5-star, that chocolate, or that mint ice cream, I'm actually getting mentally stronger. You go to the gym for a muscle workout, you stay at home for brain workouts. The process is giving you these brain workouts constantly. It's creating discipline. That's what Bruce Lee talks about. He's talking about the discipline that the people create. And the disciplined individuals are the most superior kind of individuals, in my opinion. That's what I've come to learn over time. So, if you want to do it for the health side of things, do it for that. If you want to do it for your fitness side of things, do it for that. But for me personally, what I feel is that everyone should do it for their own happiness. In that place of peace, in that discipline, you find happiness. Today, my mom's fitter than I've ever seen her before. She's stronger than I've ever seen her before. But I've never seen her smiling as much. She's happier than I've ever seen her before. That's what means the world to me. She is mentally strong, she is happy, and I've just opened up this magical world for her through showing her this process, something that she doubted initially. So ladies, as I said earlier, my mission is to get that voice in every single Indian house. And as I said earlier, you guys hold the key. You guys can become educated mothers and raise educated children. Step one is understanding that a lot of the things that we've been brought up being told aren't probably correct according to science today. So you need to start educating yourself and you need to start opening your perspectives. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.